It's been 25 years since we've had an undisputed boxing heavyweight world champion crowned before Tyson Fury fights Oleksandr Usyk. Both guys undefeated and proven to be the top fighters of this generation, but only one can be victorious. Unless it's like a draw. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't think the undisputed fight is going to be as close as it seems on paper. Tyson Fury is huge. He is a 6'9" behemoth, even though that height is kind of questionable when you see him like next to Alex Pereira. He usually outweighs Usyk by like 40 to 50 pounds, coming in around 260 to 270 pounds normally. They have similar records, like I said, both undefeated, but their resumes are very different. Usyk has actually held undisputed before at the cruiserweight division, 200-pound limit. He was the king over there, and now he's unifying his titles with Tyson Fury to get the undisputed at heavyweight. But with Usyk being a lighter and shorter guy, that doesn't mean you should count him out because he is a phenomenal boxer. He is a master of footwork, similar to his Ukrainian brother, Vasily Lomachenko. He's a southpaw. He used that lead hand to disguise his shots. Fury really hasn't fought anyone who's as skilled as Usyk, especially not recently. He's been fighting these big, stocky, power-punching heavyweights like Dillian Whyte, Derek Chisora, Francis Ngannou, and really none of them are at all similar to Oleksandr Usyk. They're much more flat-footed, plodding, and they don't have that versatility that Usyk has. And while granted, Usyk hasn't really been in there with anyone like Tyson Fury. I mean, there is only one Tyson Fury for a reason. Fury's definitely one of a kind, but Usyk has been a variety of different fighters, good boxers like Tony Bellew and cruiserweight, then moving up to heavyweight, fighting Derek Chisora, Anthony Joshua, Daniel Dubois. These guys are heavy hitters, especially AJ and Dubois. And if those guys in like, what, 30 rounds aren't able to put a dent in Usyk, it's gonna be tough for Fury. Tyson Fury, in my opinion, has not looked the same in recent years, especially his last fight against Francis Ngannou. He did not look great. It was a split decision against a debut boxer. And I know boxing math doesn't necessarily work, but Francis got completely demolished by Anthony Joshua a couple months later. While Fury sometimes comes in undisciplined, unmotivated, out of shape, Usyk is consistent. He's always on it. He's disciplined, he's regimented, and they say if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. Fury's last fight against Ngannou, it looked like he had no answers for the much bigger man. Obviously, Usyk doesn't have that size advantage, but still, for Fury not to put a dent in him at all, not be able to completely outbox him, shutout victory, easy dub, it wasn't a great win in my opinion, and Usyk is a championship level fighter. In those championship rounds is arguably where he is the strongest, going later, going deep into the waters. It looks like he gets better as the fight goes, and especially recently, it does not look the case for Tyson Fury. I mean, it kind of did in the Wilder fights, but this is a different beast in and of itself. Of course, Fury has that big, long frame and that jab, which is going to be something new for Usyk that he hasn't seen before. And both guys are tricky, using a lot of feints, different tricks, different looks. Tyson Fury can be very twitchy, hard to figure out. But recently, Fury has adopted this Kronk style where he's just gonna walk you down, lean on you, smother you, use his size. That's something kind of Derek Chisora employed on Usyk, and it was working a little bit in that fight, but I don't see it being enough. Usyk is elusive, and it even looks like Fury has slimmed down for this fight. In the Francis fight, everyone was complaining he was too big, he was unserious, but now, going up against a much smaller guy in Usyk, he should be wanting to bully him, put on that size, put on that muscle. Because if he's slimming down and trying to outbox him, try to play Usyk's game, I don't think that will go well, because Usyk is a master of winning rounds. I honestly think Fury's best chance is to stop Usyk, which is gonna be hard to see him do considering Anthony Joshua couldn't do that in 24 rounds with him. But styles make fights, which makes you wonder, how does Fury do against smaller competition? Guys who are light, who are fast, who are elusive. And that brings you to his fight against Steve Cunningham, a 6'3", same size as Usyk, moving up from cruiserweight to heavyweight. And Fury said himself, before Usyk was even in the picture, that was one of his toughest fights.
Cunningham was the hardest fight I ever did have in my whole career, amateur or professional. The reason being, he was very slippery. I couldn't pin him down. He was light on his feet. He was weighing 208 pounds or something.
He was a cruiserweight, right?
He was a three-time cruiserweight champion of the world, and he stepped up into heavyweights. What I'm good at, boxing, moving, slipping and sliding, I couldn't do against Steve Cunningham because he was quicker than me. He was like he was a better boxer all round than me. I couldn't do nothing with him.
He was slippery, it was hard to catch him, it was hard to hit him. He couldn't get his rhythm going. He even got dropped by Cunningham, who isn't known to be a power puncher. Fury struggled to deal with that a bit, especially early on. A guy who was on the outside, moving. And if anything, Usyk does that better than anyone. But how was Fury able to overcome that fight and stay undefeated? He had to get up close and make it dirty. Kind of what he does nowadays, what he did to Deontay Wilder. Bully him. Just go towards the bigger man and smother him. Bully him. Use that size. Use that frame. Fury, even though he is the bigger guy, ironically needs to close the distance here. There are talks about the huge weakness of Oleksandr Usyk being those body shots. That's what caught him in the Daniel Dubois fight. A controversial body shot, low blow. It was called a low blow. Usyk went down. If that wasn't counted a low blow, he would have been counted out, but it was. And besides just that, Dubois and Anthony Joshua were able to catch Usyk to the body a couple times in those fights. Because of the way he moves, his head movement, his trickiness, The head isn't always going to be there, but the body is. With Fury slimming down and with him just not being as consistent as of late, not being that same guy that I saw back in the Deontay Wilder fights, back in the Vladimir Klitschko era, I just think it's a recipe disaster going up against probably the best boxer that Fury will have ever faced in the ring. And I think Usyk's going to piece him up a little bit here. I feel like he just has so many answers and is so versatile in so many different ways. The way he's able to win rounds, the way he's able to get up on you on the scorecards. And I don't think Fury is going to be able to catch him, and that's what he really needs to do. So my final prediction is going to be a decision win for Oleksandr Usyk. Let me know your take on this fight though in the comments down below. Am I way off? I'm sure you guys will let me know, especially if this age is bad. Thank you guys so much for watching though. Like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel. Take care and peace out.